Okay, I'm back with my guest, Leo Zagami. And Leo, your mother didn't want you to go forward with this information. She feared for your life,
yes.
and then she heard about what happened to you, and now she's behind your efforts to tell the truth. But anyway, you decided you broke what you told me. You broke ties with anything connected with the American Illuminati in 2003, and then with the Monte Carlo P2 Lodge in 2006. And now
the Monte Carlo P2 Lodge just didn't want to let me go. They offered me anything possible. The latest offer that I was about to say before was that they wanted me to even have a lodge inside the United Nations. An Ordo Illuminatorum Universalis Lodge supported by Comandante Dr. Giorgio Ugo Balestrieri, who is a P2 member, which you can find also on the internet if you want, a registered P2 member, who is the founder and chairman of the board of the EPOL Group and vice president international business development of MSGI Security Solutions. Now, MSGI
he's an American citizen too, right?
Yes, he's an American citizen now because in the 70s he was convicted. In Italy, they convict you one day, the day after you're out. He was basically suspected of being part of this whole weapon thing that was going on, obviously, in Livorno, because in Livorno you have also the military base of Livorno, and he was a captain there at the time, and he was coordinating for Ezio Giunchiglia, who is the second in command of the P2 Lodge, who also, as I said before, ended up in prison for a period. He was, after this scandal of the P2, his name was cleared, obviously very cleared, because he ended up in the United States, living in New York, and becoming the director of the Rotary Club in New York, which has also a special office in the United Nations. Yeah. So this is the kind of people that you have as directors of one of the most important institutions in the United States that should be dealing with moral values.
Yeah,
I don't see them. Giorgio Ugo Balestrieri reports, because he's part of MSGI Security Solutions Inc., to Joseph C. Peters. Joseph C. Peters served President George W. Bush as the deputy director of the White House Drug Policy Office, commonly referred to as the Drug Czar Office. Well, my dear friends, Comandante Giorgio Ugo Balestrieri deals very closely also with drug dealers. P2 drug dealers in South America, well known, who have immense power in Freemasonry, like the regular Grand Lodge of England of the so-called Duke of Gabinda, Rui Gabirro, known as Mafuca for the secret police, a character that uses a lodge in Cancun, Mexico, called the Hashem 39, to deliver cocaine into the U.S. This cocaine is thrown by airplanes. And he says to us in the lodge, well, it's irregular, folks, because, until we throw it, then it's illegal. It's international up there in the skies, This is the kind of people you have. So, just
now,
to
what
let
about,
you know.
Now, the connection, just so Americans know, I just wanted to make this connection between the Vatican, the Jesuits here, and our government, and why we Americans should not allow these people to do business as they're doing. Tell us, because something people may say, well, they do this in Italy, but not here. But I know you know otherwise.
The problem is that you can't change anything until this whole lobby connected to irregular now Freemasonry, because I judge now the word of Freemasonry as irregular. Very few Freemasons in my eyes are regular in the world. Connected then to the more powerful lobbies on top, but everything is directed and spiritually by the Jesuit order. But this, you're not gonna, there is a web that is too powerful. How are you gonna front it, Greg?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? This guy, Giorgio Ugo Balestrieri, you know who he is? He's the guy who has made the patents, and I can give you the number of the patents here if you want, on your security in the airports. And he is the guy who has made a document number 55366 on June 13, 1990, called Terrorism, Defensive Strategies for Individual Companies and Governments. The book, written prior 9/11, brings together some of the country's leading experts on terrorism from the government, police department, and universities, as well as computer, medical, biological, and chemical specialists. Library of Congress control number 2001-132013, EISBN 0-9659-174-5-2, copyright 2001. This is your government.
Yep.
Americans.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You have to repent in front of the Lord if you are Christians. Jesus was not this. The Jesuits have brainwashed you left, right, and center, and the corrupt Protestants who are linked to it. So don't make out of the Catholics the only scapegoats of the situations here, because I can tell you that they are as bad as the Protestants. And you have to simply understand that this is because at the top levels, the Protestant priest is meeting up with the Catholic priest, and they're under the orders of the Jesuits. In Italy, for example, this happens in Livorno, where they have their own Masonic obedience dedicated to the rectified Scottish Rite called la Gran Loggia Unita Tradizionale of Grandmaster Luigi Piazza, and everything happens quite regularly under the light of the Masonic light, And this happens also with the blessings of the French, which are on the other side, which are obviously the French. Why the French? The Jesuit order was born there. I mean, it's from France that this whole thing comes out. And I want to also reveal you for the first time on this radio show, Greg, the link between the P2 and the fake Priory of Zion. I can give you the name of the person.
Okay.
And you can find it on the internet if you want. It's called Jean-Pierre Giudicelli de Bressac de la Bachelerie. He's a very known occultist who works directly with Gino Sandri, the secretary of Plantard Sinclair. These people were working, because Plantard died, for the Vichy Nazis. And everything about the Priory of Zion,
Yep.
Because it is a cover-up for right-wing activities. Even the library in René-le-Château is owned by the Vichy party. That's how it is.
And how are the Jesuits involved there?
Because the Jesuits are involved with the schismatic Lefebvre in a conspiracy of immense proportions to play around with certain things that obviously have to prepare the way for the coming of, things to come. They have everything in plan. I mean, they have even put the black cardinal who has to become the black pope of the prophecies already in Velletri, which is the post that Ratzinger used to be in, which is traditionally the post of the pope before he becomes pope.
Okay, Leo, we're going to take a break, 4 minutes, come back with our final half hour.